Jenny McCarthy Show.
Oh! Carson, I whenever I see your name, I light up.
I was so excited when they said we're going over to Jenny McCarthy because literally this is my most favorite place. And all the other serious people are going to get mad because I've been all over the place. But when I was in here earlier, didn't I say, oh, yeah, I'm coming back to see Jenny? So I feel the same way.
Relaxed you can be. We have a casual conversation.
Yes.
And I'm going to force every one of my listeners to go Friday to Joe's Pub in New York City, Saturday in New Hope, Pennsylvania. Stand Up with a Twist. That is Carson Kressley. Where's the twist come in, Carson?
Well, you know what? I was a little nervous about doing like full on like stand up. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I should do it laying down. And then my friend Christine W., who is an amazing singer, and she's the Billboard Magazine Dance Music Artist of the Decade, and she has the #1 dance song right now, a song called Stars. She and I got together in Vegas and said we should do something together. So she's going to sing and do the music part of the cabaret, and I'm going to do stand-up-y, but more like comical stories of the insane things that just happened to me because I'm me.
That's the best. I'm telling you, when we sat there and got wasted together on my VH1 show,
right, yes.
And we told stories for hours.
And had lollipops on the floor. Remember that?
The show was supposed to be 20 minutes long, and it was a 3-hour shoot because I couldn't let you go.
We had to turn it into a mini-series.
Your stories are the best.
Thank you.
It is scary to do stand-up. I remember when I started my all-female tour.
Right.
I took I went around the country for 2 years. I plucked all the newbies I can find.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to do a pussy posse of a tour.
Right.
And one of them was Tiffany Haddish that I chose.
Oh, my God. Amazing. You have good taste.
She just moved to L.A., and I'm like, she's like, girl, I'm going to be famous. I'm like,
right.
You are going to be famous. So she was a part of my initial group.
Right.
And everyone thought, oh, I'm going to do stand-up. I'm like, no. I'm going to produce it, and I'm going to introduce them.
Right.
Except for the first city. I had to do a 20-minute set.
Where was it?
I'm not telling anyone, so they never can pull it up.
So they can't Google it.
I am not a stand-up comedian, but I did what you did. I just stood there and told stories about my Chewbacca pussy.
Right.
And that's about all I had.
Well, I think that sounds very fulfilling, actually.
Literally was the most embarrassing moment of my life. I'm like, ladies, when you want to break up with the guys, you just stop fucking growing shit out. You don't stop waxing and shaving.
Right.
It's just Chewbacca pussy, and you wonder if it's got teeth eventually.
I think it's great. But you weren't performing like at a convent or some uptight like lady venue, were you?
No.
Okay.
But that is awkward when you go into those communities because we have.
And you don't know if they're going to like your material.
No, they don't. You don't know. And some don't.
Right.
I mean, how do you deal with hecklers?
You know what? I don't. I don't know. I've never done this before. I was at a show in Palm Springs, and there was a fabulous drag queen, and she had the best heckler line ever. A guy was heckling her, and then she said, "Sir, I think you need to go rotate the tires on your house." And that shut everybody up.
Oh, my God. That is amazing.
But I can't steal that because that belongs to this amazing drag queen in Palm Springs.
All you need to do is say, like my good friend so-and-so says. That's how you
and give them credit. Okay.
Yes.
From
and you
the
can still
Judy
use the
show.
joke and say, just like my friend so-and-so says, go change this, rotate the tires on your house.
Okay. See, thank you for the tips.
That's what I'm here for.
You are so good.
Tips and tits.
Tips and tricks.
Carson Kressley, Stand Up with a Twist. So right now, just 2 cities?
Yeah, we're just kind of doing this to see if we like it and if people like it, and then we'll probably take it on the road. Who knows?
Another tip for you.
What?
Do casino tours, because then you don't have to worry about selling out the seats. They're already sold out.
They give them to the people that
yes.
gamble a lot.
So you have the people that like you that actually bought tickets, and then
right.
the people that get free ones. So your audience is always full.
See, but wouldn't that be scary if it was a full audience of people who had no idea who you were? And because I've done that, like on cruises and stuff, and they're like, I don't know who you are, but you're a very funny gal. And I was like, thank you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's happened.
As long as you make them laugh, they don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. So, and more importantly, are there any solid gold dancers that will be behind you?
No, I don't think so. I thought about getting some, I have a lot of good friends that are hot shirtless dancers in various Broadway shows and whatnot. And I thought maybe I should get a couple of them And then I just didn't get around to it.
You know what? You want to keep your costs down.
You do.
The great thing about stand-up is you go with a microphone. And
Right.
that's it.
See, I feel like you should be my personal mentor. You've given me 3 great tips already. I don't remember what they were, but keep your costs down.
Give a shout out to the line you're going
Give
to
a shout out to any comedy you want to borrow.
Yep.
And then the first one, when I just got here, I don't know, I was so transfixed by your beauty and breasts that
you're
I
so cute.
don't remember.
I just, for some reason, you're the kind of person I just want to show them to and just let
I
you
know.
bang around.
And I like looking at them, and that doesn't happen often.
I know. You know what? Because I think if I were going to be a boy, I would be you, and I think if you were a girl, you'd be me.
Yep.
That's why why we
I
had
think
that
you're,
weird connection.
again, sage advice, sage wisdom coming from you.
Spirit animals.
Yes. Yeah.
How often do you drink?
Do I drink liquor?
Yeah.
Usually on the weekends.
Yeah. So you're a social drinker,
But
like me.
not a lot. Like, I don't love it that much, and I don't like the recovery process anymore.
As we get older.
Like,
I
if
know,
you overindulge, sometimes it feels like it takes 2 weeks to get normal again. And like your eyelids are all crispy and you just want to eat French fries for a couple days. It's bad.
that's when I go for my Big Mac and I feel like my blood is poisoned. I feel gross.
Yeah.
I have to bring up Oscars
What?
because they were just around the corner, and I had Melissa Rivers in here thinking that she was going to really, that Joan was going to come down and
Right.
come through her body and give me these amazing
Reads.
Yes, and I don't know whether she was just worried about possibly getting a job on E again or not, but she was a little bit held back.
Safe, yeah.
Safe. And now, mind you, I know we're in a very delicate climate where people,
Sure.
everyone wants the award for everyone looks great, but
Right.
we're not shitting on the people's soul. We're just going,
No.
she could have done better there. The hair, I like her better up or down.
Totally.
This was an award show that wasn't a hot fucking mess.
No, I feel like there wasn't now this is not a big diss, but there weren't a lot of movie stars. Like you had a good representation, but it wasn't like chock full. Like I was looking for my Brads and my Angies.
Exactly.
And then it was like a smattering. Like we had to make do with Meryl like for every close up.
That's right. We
There's
did get
a lot
Jane
of Meryl,
Fonda.
which we did get some Jane Fonda, which I'll take all day long. How great did she look?
That hair bucket did not move.
No, and I feel that was like did you see Jane Fonda at the Emmys and she had the ponytail?
No.
Okay, I was at the Emmys for Drag Race, and then this little lady with a ponytail, like a hot, sexy Barbara Eden, had sashayed by, like she was cutting the line. I'm like, bitch! And then I realized it was Jane Fonda, and she had like a long ponytail and a hot pink dress, and she looked amazing. But she looked amazing. But I like classic Jane. Like if there was a collectible doll set, that would have been kind of like sporty Spice Jane, and I wanted like Glamazon Jane.
I get
and
that.
I got Glamazon Jane at the Oscars. I like who does hair like that, it's like her monster-in-law hair. And I loved Monster-in-Law.
You know who does hair like that? Old-time hairdressers like my mom. My mom did the 50s
Yeah,
back combing
yeah.
and then smoothing it out and then just a helmet spray of hair.
It's always has like a couple really strong highlights into it, which gives it even more dimension. And it's like wind blown, but it's not moving. And it's like 1984 country club hair.
Exactly.
And I love it.
I like the way you described it as the Barbie doll version that you would want.
Right. I like Glamour Jane.
With the army men giving her the finger.
And she's like 80. And her body was rocking.
80.
And she was wearing white.
When I first moved down to L.A., I went to the Carousel Ball. Remember that Carousel Ball
Yeah,
thing?
the Carousel of Hope.
Carousel of Hope. Every celebrity went, and
Huge.
I sat at Goldie Hawn's table, and Jane came over, and I was like, wow. She grew old pretty, but she didn't have any surgeries done yet.
Right.
So there was a period where she had nothing. She was very old natural, Frances McDormand.
What?
Yes. And then now I saw her and I'm like, she looks 30 years younger.
Right.
Whatever doctor she has,
must have had good work. Yeah, I agree.
bitch.
Sign me up. I want to get a facelift pretty soon too because things are sagging. But guys are really hard to get facelifts because, like, you could get the Kenny Rogers effect.
Don't do it.
You look like, remember those pantyhose dolls from like the 1980s, and you made their heads out of pantyhose, and you sewed little beady black eyes on them. That's what guys with facelifts look like. They have those little tiny, it makes your eye hole so small.
It's so bizarre.
And it gets rid of the white of your eye, so you just have the dark part. So you look like a little beady, like it makes you very beady-eyed. I just Google a picture of Kenny Rogers if you're wondering what I'm talking about. Sorry, Kenny, I adore you, but the eyes have gotten very small.
And Scarface, what's his name?
Al Pacino.
His face.
Oh, does he have a small eye now?
Oh no, he did. He had the worst facelift out of all the guys next to Kenny Rogers.
Really? So I don't know what if there's some plastic surgeon listening, but I don't know what the recommended procedure for men
tell you
is.
Filler, which still makes you look bloated, but
yeah, filler. I feel like my filler moves, and then like
it does.
I have a fat lower cheek. So it looks like I'm storing up nuts for the winter.
Carson, I can tell you why it moves. Are you ready for this?
Why?
Okay, so I had it done once a long time ago. People, I haven't done it since. But when you put your cell phone, which warms up, on your cheek, it heats it up and it makes it move.
No.
Yes, so you have to do speakerphone if you have any fillers.
Another great tip, everybody. Another great tip. Now, we have accessed some kind of before and after facelift website here in the Jenny McCarthy studios.
That's how good we are.
And, technology, they spare no expense here.
Explain what you see to our listeners.
There's a man. I don't have my glasses on. Who is that man? Is that Jack Wagner? God, my vision is so good. I can see a General Hospital's heartthrob across the room. Jack Wagner before and after. It doesn't look like he's had anything done.
No, he looks pretty good there.
But there are many that have had excessive work.
I think you know what I learned from a guy, an anti-aging guy.
Okay,
they make these benches.
Yeah.
that are tilted like this, so you lay and like relax. Back.
Upside down.
Yes, not the upside down where you're hanging with your feet.
Right.
Upside down, but a tilted bench.
Like
and they say 8 hours a day.
Like a chaise lounge, just like by a pool, but that is broken. And when you lay into it, you flip down backwards, kind of.
Exactly.
8 hours. Who has that kind of time? I mean, I better be sleeping when that's happening.
I was going to say, just, get an anti-gravity chair, go flip backwards and sleep on it. And I swear you'll make a difference. Why don't you be the experiment guinea pig for it?
Or I think what would also work, don't steal my idea, everybody listening, but the massage tables where your head sticks through and you see like the feet or whatever of the person working on your shoulders. I think if your head just floated while you slept, but it was looking down.
You mean like the cock table that I got too for Valentine's Day?
Sure, that too. I've heard of those. I don't. I'm a Christian woman.
What are they called, David?
What are they called, David?
Milking tables.
Oh, milking tables. My goodness. I've seen those, but I didn't realize what they were for.
Come on, you never tried a milking table?
No. Actually, I haven't. A milking
All of a
table.
sudden, though, we had one in our basement. I was like, Happy Valentine's Day. And then a month later, my son was using it as a space command post. And he was like, it's a submarine. We get to come up through this hole and look around to see if anyone's coming. And I'm like, oh.
Oops.
My God.
Now we have visuals. That's a milking table? My goodness, I had no idea. That seems like a lot of unnecessary equipment. I can do my milking au natural.
But imagine if you were getting a massage.
Keep your costs low, Jenny. Low overhead.
And then someone below is taking care of that part. If
Really?
I was a guy, I'd be in heaven. The only problem is for any girls listening, I would, because these are great, like cheaper Valentine's Day gifts.
Right.
You need that milking table stacked on some 2x4s because otherwise your neck can break as you're trying to milk the cow.
Right. Yeah, that would be bad.
That's
That's like cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Carson, I love you so much. I want to come with you on one of your tours and sit there and talk to you for a half an hour.
Let's go.
We'd do some good shit together. I want to ask you about the Queer Eye on Netflix. Have
the
you watched
reboot.
it yet?
Okay, yes. What do you want to know?
I want to know, honest to God, what you think of it.
Netflix was really nice, and they invited all of us original Fab Fivers to the premiere in LA. They did not have any alcohol. And no, the party was at the Pacific Design Center, and they have a beautiful theater there. And we were doing the red carpet, and there was a lot of like, get you guys with the new guys with the old guys and whatever. And I was like, God, I'm so parched. And I was already kind of like edgy because it's a weird.
It is.
It was a weird thing. It's like, hi, meet the people that are taking over your job that you used to do.
Yes, you're aged out.
So
yes,
yeah.
Here you go.
So originally when I first heard about it, I felt like that, like a little pang of jealousy, like an ex is dating someone new, like that feeling. And I was like, I don't want that ex, but I also don't want someone else to have them either.
I totally get that.
That was my original feeling. Then I went to the party, which was really kind of like awkward and weird. And then the original producer of the show, David Collins, gave this speech about, thanking Netflix and shouting out to the showrunner and saying how amazing the new Fab Five was. And I was like, my ears were starting to get red. And then he said, but I have to say the group that deserves the biggest applause is the original Fab Five. And they were this, and this. And I was like, oh my God, that made everything better. Like, thank you for like saying. And then I did a lot of thinking about it. I saw the episode, and it definitely has a different tone. Like, it doesn't have like the fast, kind of goofy hilarity that we had. Like, we were just like five guys who had never been on television before, and we wanted to do really amazing creative work. Like, I wanted to be a top-notch stylist. Tom Felicia does top-notch like interior design. Like, we really focused on that, and it wasn't so much about the story of the guy, which was important, but I think this version is really about the straight guy, and it's very emotional. It's about people like finding their mojo again, I guess, and overcoming obstacles that oftentimes are emotional. Like, one of the episodes I saw was a gay guy who was coming out to his family. His father had passed away. He never told him. His stepmother was like his only family left. He was going to tell her.
So they went extreme home makeover.
Very emotionally charged. So it has a very different tone. And then I also got to the point where the new cast, they're so lovely and so kind and smart. I was just like, they're not taking anything away from what I did.
No.
They're just adding on to
100%.
what we did.
Honestly, you literally broke down the doors, so to speak, into people's real homes and allowed people to have an open mind.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, Madonna allowed us to wear our bra straps showing.
Thank you.
She paved the way, and you guys did the same.
Thank you. Well, we didn't really know we were doing that when we were doing it. And, but still to this day, like, I will get like a crumpled up napkin on an airplane, and I'm like, ooh, someone's phone number. And I'm like, no, not that. But it's like a note saying like, dear Mr. Kressley, like, I watched your show when I was 15 and I was gay, and it allowed me to have a conversation with my mom and dad about my sexuality, and it made my coming out process so much easier. And those stories, like, just even recounting them, make me feel so good. So we did a lot of good stuff.
It makes you feel like, okay, I can die knowing I did something good in this world.
I totally did, yes.
A couple of fashion things before I let you go,
because
I trust you.
Yes.
What is worse, white pants after Labor Day or that stupid fucking rule?
I think that stupid fucking rule. Because I think you can definitely, like, white pants, like, no, you shouldn't be, like, it's all common sense. Like, obviously you shouldn't be wearing like an easy breezy white linen palazzo pant in Chicago in March because it's like 11 degrees.
Right.
But you could wear a thicker weight white jean that's meant to be worn in cooler weather, and pair it with a big chunky, maybe like camel turtleneck. And that would
love
look,
it.
and a boot, and a suede boot, and that makes it winter appropriate.
I like it. Would you rather see a man bun would you rather see a man in a band t-shirt or a man with a top bun?
I'm not a fan of the top bun. I'm sorry.
I'm done with it. It's done, right?
I'm sorry. It never looked good anyway. Does anyone wearing a man bun right now? No, we're clear, everybody.
We're clear.
I've done that where I say something, oh, that is the worst, and then I'll I'll crane my neck over and I'll see like the producer is like having it on. Like, I did a play once.
I do that always.
I did this show called The Drowsy Chaperone, and I played an old man in a chair who was like a recluse, and I wore like 3 Fair Isle sweaters and some terrible like hiking sneakers, like not even a hiking boot, like a suede hiking sneaker. And then I was like doing the promo pictures, and the photographer goes, oh my God, I like your shoes. And I was like, oh, these awful things. That's part of the costume. And then I looked down and he had them on.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So I was like, I'm kidding. I like yours. It's
Carson
just
Kressley.
like you just can't get out of that.
I love you so fucking
I
much.
love you
I want
more.
everyone to go to his show, Stand Up with a Twist, Friday at Joe's Pub in New York City, also Saturday in New Hope, Pennsylvania. Where can they go for tickets, Carson?
They can go to Carson Kressley on Instagram, and there's a link. Or for New York, you can go to joespub.com. And for Pennsylvania, you can go to therazroom.com.
You have a friend in me.
And I think this is Christine W., who's going to be singing in our cabaret show this weekend.
There you go. Come see him. You guys check him out. Thank you, Carson. I love you. We'll be
I love
right
you
back.
more.
Superhuman, your mask is pulled off now, and you make it somehow. Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!